She trusted her without question.
I was there all the time, taking care of her. I'm the one who took her to the doctor. I'm the one who did everything.
But did she really know the person she relied on most?
Weren't sure. We didn't know if it was a suicide or if it was something medical. She was in the hospital shortly before. She's been sick for years.
At first, it looks like a sudden death until the truth surfaces, and with it, a lethal weapon no one saw coming.
And there's an anomaly in her toxicology. There's a drug in her system that's not supposed to be there.
And what would that be?
It's called tetrahydrozoline.
What is that?
Commonly known as eye drops. Well, they're trying to look at this as a murder.
That's just insane to me. And this is why I'm here.
One of the reasons.
Do you guys think I murdered her?
Did you?
I swear to God, I didn't.
In the courtroom, two stories collide, one of trust,
Lynn knew Jessy since she was a child.
the other of betrayal.
Lynn Hernan became worth more dead than alive to Jessy Kurczewski.
Which story will the jury believe?
We, the jury, find the defendant, Jessy R. Kurczewski.
I'm Elizabeth Millner, and welcome to this episode of Female Criminals. Pewaukee, Wisconsin. That's where we meet Lynn Hernan. Born in June of 1956, Lynn Hernan grew up about an hour away in Madison, Wisconsin. She spent most of her life doing what she loved. She was a hairdresser and salon owner. No matter where Lynn was going, friends say she was always perfectly put together. From her hair to her nails, even her jewelry. Every day was like a special occasion. Despite her looks and charm, Lynn Hernan never married. She lived by herself. Still, she had a strong group of friends by her side. Even though Lynn never had biological children, she did look at one person in particular like a daughter. Jessy Kurczewski is the daughter of Lynn's best friend, Jennifer Flower. Lynn watched Jessy grow up. Photos of the two together appear to show a loving relationship. Jessy seemed completely different from Lynn. In a way, Jessy was a little rough around the edges. She had previously served time in prison for forgery and identity theft. In 2016, Jessy is released from prison. That same year, Jessy begins to act as Lynn's caretaker when Lynn's health begins to deteriorate. Lynn reportedly suffers severe gastrointestinal issues, high blood pressure, and lung disease. However, doctors reportedly were never able to fully diagnose her. She spent years in and out of hospitals, so Jessy becomes her full-time caretaker. If Lynn has a fall at home, Jessy would help her up. Jessy does the grocery shopping, pays Lynn's bills. Lynn Hernan completely trusts Jessy. She has no reason to look twice. But Lynn's health continues to decline. On October 3rd, 2018, a 911 call comes in, and it's Jessy Kurczewski on the line. Jessy reports finding Lynn unconscious and unresponsive. EMS arrived to Lynn's condo. Lynn is lying in a recliner in her living room. Pewaukee fire personnel pronounced her dead at the scene. According to the Waukesha County Sheriff's Department, deputies noticed a large amount of crushed pills on her chest. To the left of Lynn's body is a plate with more crushed medication. Deputies report numerous prescription medication bottles on the table on both sides of Lynn. Based on what they see inside Lynn's home, their initial observations were Lynn may have died from a drug overdose. According to a neighbor who's only identified as Witness A in court documents we've obtained, Lynn was released from the hospital days before her death after she suffered a fall in her home. Lynn's neighbor says she, along with Jessy Kurczewski, assisted Lynn off the floor. According to the filing, Witness A indicated she didn't believe Lynn was suicidal and had never been given that impression before. However, Jessy told deputies the opposite. When Waukesha County deputies speak with Jessy, she tells them Lynn had been released from the hospital the Friday before her death on September 28, 2018.
They kind of weren't sure. We didn't know if it was a suicide or if it was something medical. She was in the hospital shortly before. She's been sick for years. We really weren't sure, if this is something, because the doctors could never figure out what was going on. Mm-hmm. So it was frustrating, and she had literally probably 10 boxes of medical documents.
Okay.
And, we just didn't know. And, I know what state she was in and where she was at, but I didn't. It's kind of frustrating because I was there all the time taking care of her. I'm the one who took her to the doctor. I'm the one who did everything. So the not knowing, and I wasn't there with her.
There is a medical
So it bothers me because I go, could I have been there? Could I have helped? Could I have done something? That's my hardest part. Mm-hmm. I've never found anybody before, and it's not something I ever want to do again.
According to Jessy, the hospital wanted Lynn to stay as an inpatient for rehabilitation, but Lynn refused. Jessy says Lynn was supposed to have a home health care visit on October 1st, but Lynn pushed it back to Friday, October 5th. According to the filing, Jessy thought Lynn's behavior throughout the week was odd. Jessy says Lynn was throwing out bills so the hospital wouldn't get her money. When Jessy would check on Lynn's pills, there were either too many or not enough. Jessy reportedly told investigators that Lynn told her where all the important papers were and what she wanted done with her cats because she didn't want to go to a nursing home. Prior to her death, Lynn was constantly worried she'd have to leave her home for medical reasons. Jessy seems to be implying that because of all those reasons, there's a possibility Lynn was suicidal.
Even with her pills, every day, because she had so many at the end when she got to the hospital, I'd say, okay, Lynn, remember you gotta take this one, you gotta take this one. And then I'd pull some out for her to take, and I already took it. And then I'm looking at it, I go, okay, this is even the right amount in here. Or you didn't take it. Some of them she didn't want to, some of them she took too many. I mean, I couldn't keep up with her.
Obviously, it looks like she was trying to force down medication. The doctor will tell me if that's true or not.
Do I think it's a suicide? Yeah. I think she...
Because of her psychological issues?
Yeah, and I think when she went in the hospital, that was it for her. That was the last straw. If they couldn't find them, she was going to tell them whatever she wanted to get out of there. And I told her that. I said, she just wants to come home because she's going to do herself in.
She was just she was just tired of being sick. And she was frustrated because she wasn't getting the answers.
On the flip side, Jessy believes Lynn really loved her cats and wouldn't want to leave them behind. She also points out that Lynn had no family or contact with anyone besides Jessy. And it turns out, Jessy was even power of attorney for Lynn. It would take weeks for the medical examiner to come back with an official ruling on Lynn's cause and manner of death. Meanwhile, investigators worked the case. According to court documents, on December 19, 2018, deputies spoke with another witness, only identified in the filing as Witness C. Witness C tells investigators he believes Jessy Kurczewski and her mom, Jennifer Flower, may have been involved in Lynn's death. According to Witness C, he'd known Lynn for a long time and didn't believe she would intentionally or unintentionally overdose. But the reason why Witness C believes Jessy and her mom Jennifer may be involved is because they lived in Lynn's house, used her things. Then after her death, they allegedly used her car and sold her property. The following month, detectives speak with Lynn's cousin, only identified as Witness B. Witness B reportedly thought it was suspicious Lynn's entire estate was left to Jessy. He told detectives he did his own background research on Jessy, only to discover several of her prior convictions for forgery and fraud. He wanted to make sure Lynn's will filed in probate court was authentic and wanted to make sure there was nothing suspicious about Lynn's death. Soon, his worst suspicions are confirmed by the medical examiner. In January of 2019, 3 months after Lynn Hernan's death, the Waukesha County medical examiner releases the toxicology report. The results conclude Lynn had a fatal dose of tetrahydrozoline in her system. Detectives note tetrahydrozoline is the main ingredient in eye drops. According to Waukesha County medical examiner Dr. Linda Bedretsky, there shouldn't be any tetrahydrozoline in someone's blood. The ingredient is considered to be poisonous to the human body, and it would be impossible to have the levels Lynn had in her blood if she was only using it in her eyes. According to detectives, by this time, Jessy had been calling the medical examiner's office multiple times, asking about the results from Lynn's autopsy.
Waukesha County Communications, is Jeff?
Yes, I'm calling. I'm trying to find out some information, and I don't have a case number or who is working on it.
Okay.
I have a last name and the person who it is on, and basically I'm just trying to find out some information.
Okay.
I don't know who it's supposed to.
All right. Do you remember where the incident happened?
It happened in Pewaukee. What it was is the medical examiner is the one who gave me the number for you guys.
Okay. So is it reference to death then if you were talking to the medical examiner? Okay.
Yeah.
And what is the subject's last name?
Hernan. And the first name is Lynn.
Any idea when it happened?
She passed away October 3rd of last year.
Okay.
but I don't know when it was referred to you guys, or I don't know anything about that. Basically, I've been checking with the medical examiner because we're trying to figure out she was in the hospital before she passed. This was something the hospital should have caught or whatnot, what's going on, and it's the medical examiner hasn't had any information in months, and then she just said now that it was referred to your department.
But investigators don't have enough on Jessy to make an arrest at this time. Months later, in July of 2019, Jessy is brought in for another interview. There's a lot more questions Jessy has to answer to, like about Lynn Hernan's money.
Does she take care of her own bills at the time? Her brain's sharp enough that she's...
No, she did some things, but she'd tell me what to pay as well. She'd say, okay, this month I gotta pay this month I gotta pay this.
Like, did she have a car payment then, or...
No car payment. She just had credit cards, like crazy.
What she's using the credit cards for?
No idea.
The last 6 months when she's not feeling well, are you out there every day, do you think, or almost every day?
Almost.
And is she paying you on a daily basis, or by the week?
No.
Or is she just...
I mean, it was all
did you have
different.
an official arrangement that, I make $20 an hour?
No,
or?
there was nothing like that.
Investigators confront Jessy with something they've known for a while.
And there's an anomaly in her toxicology. There's a drug in her system that's not supposed to be there.
What would that be?
It's called tetrahydrozoline.
What is that?
Commonly known as eye drops.
According to Jessy, she did purchase eye drops for Lynn, but she never saw Lynn drink or ingest the eye drops.
She used eye drops all the time.
What does she use them for?
She used them for her eyes. But
Yeah.
she went through them like crazy, which didn't make sense.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like, when you say a lot, how much was she using?
I probably brought her 4 bottles while she was in the hospital.
Yeah?
She put them in her eyes all the time. All the time. And I was like, I've never met somebody that goes through it. She's like, my eyes are always dry. Always.
What kind of eye drops are you buying her?
Whatever kind. She didn't care. She didn't have like a history.
I mean, I'm not an eye drop guy, but we also refer to it as Visine. Is that...
Well, no, there's different. She liked a different kind. I don't know without looking at it. I really don't.
Okay.
No.
The hospital didn't have concerns with it?
I have no idea. I mean, she had it sitting out on her thing.
The last couple
But
weeks...
what would that do anyway? I don't get it.
Apparently, it's not good for you to use lots of eye drops. And that's what the medical examiner is concerned about.
Did they look in her house? Because she has boxes of them.
Does
Or
she?
had, yeah. Because she was well known for eye drops.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, what is that? Because that just sounds really weird to me.
Did you ever see her, like squirt the stuff in her mouth?
No.
Eye drops? No?
No.
No. Did you ever see her use different kinds of alcohol when she's taking her pills?
Oh, a ton. Well, what do you mean
Alcohol, like
vodka?
spirits. Vodka.
Well, yeah, she drank vodka all the time. That's what was her main drink.
The medical examiner tends to think someone killed her.
Are you serious?
Okay.
Why is that?
Because they didn't find any Visine bottles next to her.
They're all over her house.
But she didn't really move around. That's what we were told, is she didn't really move. So the medical examiner
I
tends
can
to
honestly tell you, I know they're
think
all
that someone
over the
gave it to her.
No. I was the only one there. And
I was there. I didn't see any Visine.
I did not give her. They're all in her bathroom. And there was 2 in her nightstand.
Not next to her.
They were on her nightstand next to her. I swear to God, I know they were, because she always kept them right there.
Oh, there's a picture of the nightstand. The medical examiner does a real thorough job when it comes
I
to
agree with
medication.
what you're saying. 100%. But
And there's no
I don't know anybody who would do that to her, and I'm not lying. I don't know anybody who would want to do that. Who
I don't
would
know.
do
I'm
that?
asking you.
I don't know anybody.
Well, they're trying to look at this as a murder.
That's just insane to me. And this is why I'm here.
One of the reasons.
Do you guys think I murdered her?
Did you?
I swear to God, I didn't.
But investigators believe Jessy had plenty to gain from Lynn Hernan's death.
How much money did she give you over the last 2 years, do you think?
A lot. I don't know. Dollar-wise.
Throw a number out at me.
Maybe 20,000.
If a forensic accountant looked at the stuff and thinks it's closer to 190,000, would that surprise you?
It might, but maybe not. So I honestly don't know.
Because it looks
She's
like
done
she
a
gave
lot.
you close to $200,000 in the last 2 years.
Oh, yeah, she has.
The fact is she paid you $200,000 over the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
You're the you are handling the money. You are on the signer on the accounts. You are running the show.
Yeah.
You are handling the credit card stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's going on financially with her.
Mm-hmm.
The money is going to be gone here shortly.
So I would kill her because of that?
People do weird things.
Why would I kill her for money?
I mean, it's
my family.
I tend to think that you didn't. When you say kill her, I don't think you killed her. I think she was sick, and she didn't want to. She was done, and she wanted to finish her life, and she needed help. She wanted help.
I understand you saying that, but as far as helped her, though, I didn't.
I think they administered her some of that Visine.
I did not.
Jessy is placed under arrest, but at this time, it's not for murder.
I feel like right now I am being charged with murder.
You're not.
I feel like I am.
I mean,
I would tell you. I would tell you.
He would tell you. But
I would tell you.
You're in a probation hold. And I was totally honest with you when you're on a probation hold, it's because of the financial stuff. Your PO was unhappy about all the money you've received over the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's the 100% truth.
Back in front of detectives the following day, Jessy's story still doesn't line up with the evidence they've collected.
Everybody we've talked to, you've lied to. You've lied to Scott. You've lied to your mom. We talked to your mom yesterday.
What did I lie to her about?
She said there's no reason Lynn should have given you any money.
Lynn gave me money, but back in the day,
Why is it though that Lynn Jennifer, your mom, says specifically that you should not have gotten large amounts of money from Lynn?
Because she didn't know about it.
Detectives want to make sure no stone is left unturned. Jessy's brought back for another interview a few days later, and the focus returns to Lynn's bank accounts.
Don't you think it's curious that somebody got like $200,000 minimum over a 2-year span?
It was a 3-year span. And the bigger chunks were way before she died. That was not anywhere close to last year.
So why should she give you all this money?
I just explained that. I had so much debt.
Why does she care about your debt?
Because that was what she was.
Jessy previously agreed to do a polygraph test, and the results only raised more eyebrows.
How do you think you did on the polygraph?
I think I did very well.
I think you did horrible.
Who is it? They already know?
Yeah.
I don't see that.
Why don't you see that?
Because I didn't fail it. I know I didn't fail it. I couldn't have.
Why is that?
Because I'm not lying about it. I didn't do anything to her. I really did not do anything to her, and I know you guys are thinking this because of money. It's not because of money that I would ever hurt her. I wouldn't hurt her for any reason because she's a great person. She helped me money-wise, financially, and now you guys think because of that I killed her for it?
And I told you yesterday, I think she wanted to die and you helped her. That's what I think.
I think you picked out a perfect victim. I think you picked out somebody with no family and no friends. And
I was her family. So was my mom.
Exactly. That's it. You guys, just you two.
Yeah, so why would I want to get rid of her?
Because she was running out of money. You were opening credit cards and you opened up loans in her name.
I didn't do anything without her permission. Nothing.
What's the jury going to think?
What's who?
The jury's going to think.
I'm sure it's not going to look good.
There's a reason investigators haven't charged Jessy with murder. The medical examiner has yet to classify the case as a homicide. The ME's findings clearly lean toward a particular direction.
Crushed up pills in her mouth, there's crushed up powder around her mouth, there's crushed up powder around her nose. Somebody made it very, 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 very obvious.
And she had none of that in her system whatsoever.
No, it was less than therapeutic levels, which means it wasn't even...
Well, she had a full plate. So, okay, obviously she had a full plate. She didn't take very much of it. There was nothing in her system except for the 2 pills. I find that hard to believe.
There's 2 pills.
Because she also took more pills for that morning than 2 pills when I was there.
Well, forensic pathologists and doctors and people who did testing disagree with you. And it's not just, it didn't happen yesterday, it happened almost a year ago. So it has been a very lengthy investigation on their end.
I understand what you're saying.
I mean, the medical examiner is pretty serious. She doesn't want to call this a homicide or a murder if she can't explain it.
That's why she hasn't ruled yet. But she keeps telling us, Chris, I'm leaning toward a homicide because nothing doesn't add up.
After learning this, Jessy has a different story to tell.
She looked at Visine a a long time ago, and I already told you that, when I told you she was buying multiple. She was looking for her way out, and because she tried pills twice and it wasn't working. She was looking for her way.
And when was that? The day before, you said?
The day before is when she had the vodka mixed with it. And it was a glass probably about that big.
And how much Visine did she?
I don't know that because she had it poured in her vodka bottle prior. Last time I bought the bottle, she dumped them in her vodka. That's why I asked how many days it lasts for in there. Because she did it about 3 times and she'd get so sick that she'd over, and that's when she her room, and I had to clean that up when she was in the hospital.
And why was she putting the Visine in the vodka?
She was doing it because she was trying to find an easy way out.
The following day, the pressure intensifies, and Jessy seems to crack. She now has yet another story, that Lynn was in so much pain she was left with no other choice.
You gotta lay it out.
Yep.
That morning you talked, you knew what her plan was.
I've known it for months.
And when you gave her that bottle, you were sick inside.
I was sick inside, but
knowing
I didn't think I'd find her.
This was kind of gonna happen.
Because
there was a good possibility this was gonna happen.
Yes.
Because she was done.
Yep.
And you knew that.
But I can honestly say I did not know I was
And
on.
it was killing you.
The personal representative around the
that
world.
afternoon, you was spinning in your head that you thought, I'm gonna go back there, she might be dead. And you couldn't tell him because he's too good of a person.
No.
And you feel horrible. You feel horrible about all this.
Her last will at the house has Anthony and my mom on it. The last will that was at the house, just so you guys know, because you probably found it.
Mm-hmm.
It was there. I did not know that. I want that known.
Again,
my mom
knew
too.
From day one that you tried to help her. She was done. She was in such pain, in such misery, and you did what you thought was right. It's that simple. You did what you thought was right. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And you feel horrible about it.
I don't even want to say it was right. I did what she wanted because she wanted it.
But you resisted a bunch of times
Oh,
before,
and
and she wore you down, and this time this was it.
If I would have thought this was right, I wouldn't have pulled the trigger and just shot her.
You can't do that. You're not that person. You're not that person.
Over the next 2 days, Jessy insists what she did wasn't murder.
I did not murder her, and I couldn't murder her. I understand. I helped. I bought it. But in my mind, she knew what she was drinking. She took it. I didn't force her to take it. I didn't pour it down her mouth. None of that. And that's where I have a hard time. I'm willing to do anything I can. I didn't do this. I didn't kill her. I did not kill her.
You played a role, Jeff.
All I did was buy it. That's all I did. I bought it. I bought it. And for that, I'm looking at murder.
You gave her the bottle.
It was the bottle she wanted. She knew what it was.
So did you. You knew, Jessy. You knew what the
She knew what it was. It was her doing.
So did you, though. So did you.
But that doesn't make it right.
On both ends, it doesn't make it right. Unintended consequences. And, you can't even say it was unintended because you knew that Lynn had looked it up and said that it could kill you. It could kill her. And you knew that. And you knew she said that, and you knew that it had 6 bottles in there. And you were worried about it. You that possibly could have happened.
I keep playing back everything in my head, and you guys keep saying, I staged it. I staged it. Why didn't I take that bottle? Why didn't I take that bottle? I would have taken that bottle. And if you guys would have taken it, you would have known I never opened the bottle. There's no prints of me opening that bottle.
Jessy is interviewed by detectives 6 times within 10 days. Still, she hasn't officially been charged with murder. On July 16, 2019, investigators speak with another witness, someone who was once close with Jessy.
Can you tell me how long you and Jessy have been together?
We've been together roughly 3 years.
What you're hearing is an audio interview with Scott Craig, Jessy's ex-boyfriend.
Well, what is her story? What did she say happened?
She said she helped Lynn kill herself.
Like Dr. Forkian stuff?
Basically,
kind of,
yes.
Yeah, she asked me to do it, and I bought it.
What do you mean? Like helped her? Did she you said the Visine, and you told me before that she got it for her. Did she actually give it to her?
Well, she said that Lynn wanted to kill herself, and Lynn knew that they both knew that there was a bottle with 6 bottles of Visine in it. And Lynn had allegedly told told Jessy that she knew Visine could kill her, and Lynn asked her for that bottle, and Jessy said that she gave Lynn that bottle knowing that there were 6 in there, knowing it could kill her, and gave it to her and let her drink it.
Scott tells investigators he got even more suspicious after Jessy began buying him, his children, and even his ex-wife pricey gifts.
Because no, we don't believe this was an assisted suicide. I mean, until it's got, I think the number's going to be closer to $300,000 that she got from Lynn over the last year and a half of Lynn's life.
She would buy me gifts. And his ex-wife. We were married 17 years with 3 kids together. And she would buy me like $100 gift certificate for the spa. And like, my husband's like, that's a little weird. Because I know, when we were married, he wouldn't buy me that kind of like. And she'd always say from the kids.
But it was,
like,
it wasn't,
nice.
It was just out of the blue. It was for Christmas.
She
it was from all of us.
Loved gifts. And she'd give like gifts like that. Not I mean, $100 not lavish, but it was weird.
On July 19, 2019, investigators have news for Jessy, one that she's not prepared to hear.
Jessy, you're going to be charged with a form of homicide. There's no doubt about that. You are going to be charged. It's just a matter of which one we're going to go with, which one the district attorney's office is going to feel is sufficient for this case. It's going to happen. There is no doubt. 100% you will be charged with a form of homicide. Reckless, first degree, that's where we got to figure it out, okay? And I know it sucks to hear that, but I'm not going to play games with you.
I don't want you to. That's what I want you to tell me. I want to know.
You're going to be charged, but like I told you, we are trying to determine if there's any other evidence out there that can help prove that this was an assisted suicide, and right now we're just not finding it.
And are you finding more that's proving that I killed her for financial gain? Is that still what you're going with?
Well, besides all the evidence that we talked about before?
What do you mean, all the evidence?
Well, we're going through all the there's a lot of financials, Jessy.
Oh, I know that.
So it takes a lot. It's a lot. So that's kind of where we're at.
The investigation into Jessy Kurczewski continues for months while she remains behind bars on her parole hold. 2 days prior to Jessy getting out of jail, an arrest warrant is issued. Now it's official. Jessy Kurczewski is charged with first-degree murder and the death of Lynn Hernan. According to her criminal complaint, detectives spoke with another witness, only identified as Witness G. The filing states Witness G is an inmate at the Tetrahydrozoline Correctional Institution and was roommates with Jessy. Witness G tells detectives a similar story to Scott Craig's, that Jessy had an emotional breakdown and allegedly confessed to giving Lynn several bottles of Visine to kill her. But they say it wasn't for money. It was to stop Lynn's suffering. In addition to first-degree homicide, Jessy faces charges of theft too. Detectives learned after Lynn's death, nearly $16,000 was taken from Lynn's estate. According to the criminal complaint, Jessy created fake documents to suggest the money was used to pay debts. However, those debts never existed. The money was unaccounted for and believed to be stolen by Jessy. Detectives believe the fraud adds up to a little more than $290,000. Out of that amount, a little more than $130,000 is believed to be transferred fraudulently by check from Lynn to Jessy. On August 6, 2021, Jessy Kurczewski pleads not guilty to first-degree intentional homicide plus 2 counts of theft movable property. Her bail is set at $1 million, and she remains in the Waukesha County Jail until trial. Due to delays, Jessy's trial doesn't begin until October of 2023, 5 years after Lynn Hernan's death. The prosecution's theory was simple. They argued there was a clear reason Jessy wanted Lynn gone.
We often hear motive in TV shows and movies. The state always talks about, what was the motive? Here's her motive. We don't have to prove motive to you. That's not something in those 2 elements. We do have to show intent. We don't have to show motive. As this instruction said, motive is often helpful. And here it's pretty simple. As we go through the financials fairly painstakingly, you're going to see that the access Ms. Kurczewski had to Lynn Hernan allowed her to steal every dollar almost that Lynn Hernan was worth in life. And knowing that she was going to be the personal representative of Lynn Hernan's estate, you're going to see that in or about October 3rd, 2018, Lynn Hernan became worth more dead than alive to Jessy Kurczewski.
Jessy's defense attorney argues there was love between the two, saying Lynn's death was the result of suicide.
Lynn loved Jessy as her daughter. She was in that circle. But if Lynn was here, she wouldn't believe that Jesse's sitting over there to start with. Had she known this was going to happen, I think she would have did something different. I don't think, never in her wildest dream would she ever think Jessy would get arrested for a suicide that Lynn committed, or being charged with money that Lynn gave to her. Jesse's innocent.
Several state witnesses take the stand over the course of weeks, including the detectives who investigated Lynn Hernan's death for months. Waukesha County Detective Timothy Loberg testifies there's one clue that doesn't fit the defense's narrative.
Based on your training and experience as a detective at these death scenes, have you ever observed a presumed suicide to have crushed pills on their chest?
No.
When you were on scene in your investigation, was a suicide note ever found?
No.
If there was one found, would you have taken it?
Absolutely.
Ultimately, it was the medical examiner's findings that changed this investigation.
And I determined it was a homicide, which is a medical determination, not based on law enforcement or criminal rules. It's a public health determination, actually. And how this injury occurred is that she was given tetrahydrozoline by another, which is why I called it a homicide. If it was self-administered, it would be something else.
As you looked closer at the way this powder was resting on the decedent, was that consistent with all of your experience at death scenes that ultimately were suicides?
No.
Did this stand out to you?
Yes.
Why?
With ingestions, there is usually the substance or product there. I mean, not 100% of the time, but we saw a lot of her pills, but no tetrahydrozoline. Two, the powders or whatever people ingest can sometimes discolor their lips or come bubbling out of their mouth because they're either it's regurgitated or they became unconscious while consuming it. But this is like powder that's not been in contact with her mouth. I mean, it's not vomited up and it's not spit out. It's just laying on her chest.
The trial then spills into a second week of testimony. The jury hears from Scott Craig, Jesse's ex-boyfriend, a witness for the state. He testifies about a specific lie Jessy told him surrounding Lynn's death.
Sure.
If we fast forward to October of 2018, did Ms. Kurczewski tell you any news about Lynn Hernan?
Yeah, that's in October of 2018 that she had passed away.
Where did you believe Lynn Hernan passed away?
In Frederick Medical Center.
And why did you believe that?
Because she was in a coma at Frederick.
And did she ultimately tell you that the doctors had concluded something?
Yes.
And what was that?
They said that she ingested Visine.
Did she use the word Visine or a different word? Do you remember?
Well, she said it was some medical tetra, I don't know the exact name, tetra something.
Okay.
But in the end, she clarified that it was the chemical in Visine. So this chemical was in Visine.
And do you recall what month and what year that text conversation with you and Ms. Kurczewski occurred in?
I don't recall exactly, no.
Okay. Was it before or after Lynn Hernan's death?
After.
Do you recall what you were thinking as you were receiving these text messages about your girlfriend being poisoned?
I was very irate, very mad, wondering who could do this to her.
Remember, Jessy isn't just on trial for Lynn's murder. She's also on trial for allegedly stealing her money before and after her death.
Do you recall how many checks you followed out of Lynn's money market account?
I believe there were a total of 21 checks, but the one check was the check Lynn wrote to Wild Motors. The other 20 checks were checks written to Jessy Kurczewski.
So from the time of October 2014 until this November 6, 2018 date when the account is closed, there were only 21 checks written from Ms. Hernan's money market account.
Correct.
And you said 20 of them were written to Ms. Kurczewski.
Correct.
Did you total up the value of those 20 checks written to Ms. Kurczewski?
Yes.
And is that the figure that's on slide 77?
Yes.
And could you just read that value out loud, please?
The total of the 7601 account was $134,337.01.
Okay. And between October of 2014 and that November 2018 date, that account started at $250,000, you said?
Correct.
And ended at $87.
Correct. Saw transactions at Scotty's Pub, Stella's Palace, Potawatomi Bingo Casino. Those are places we'd never seen Lynn at previously in any of her account statements.
Right, so those are after she died.
Correct.
But even when she was alive, prior to, I think you said sort of September 2018 was the change you saw?
Yes.
On this account at least, right?
Correct.
Prior to that September of 2018 time, did you see Ms. Hernan's 5336 account being used at ATMs?
No.
Did you see it being used at places like Stella's Palace?
No.
Did you see any purchases at Potawatomi Casino?
No.
Okay. So not only were these after she died, but they didn't fit that pattern you talked about before.
Correct.
Once the state rests their case, the defense calls their own experts, including toxicologist Henry Spiller, who cast doubt on the medical examiner's ruling.
You had on that chart, and I don't think you addressed the 4.1 milliliters of Visine in her stomach, did you?
Well, that one we could calculate.
Okay.
Because now we're just doing simple math. There's 300 milliliters. There's 50 milligrams per milliliter of tetrahydrozoline in Visine. You know, you can just do the math. We can do it anywhere, and it'll give you. She took about a teaspoon. About a teaspoon is left. She obviously took more because she has a blood level. But there's about a teaspoon left in the stomach.
That's what 4.1 milliliters is, 1 teaspoon?
Yes. Well, 5 technically is a teaspoon.
5 milliliters
Yeah,
is
it's
a
pretty
teaspoon.
close.
So it's a little shy of a teaspoon.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that could come down, please. We're not able to calculate how much is in the blood?
No, because again, this is not, there are no studies using tetrahydrozoline orally. And the FDA didn't require them because it's an ocular and it was not an intended use, and it just, so that we don't know.
The defense rests their case after Henry Spiller's testimony. Jessy Kurczewski chooses not to take the stand in her own defense. After 3 weeks of testimony, with nearly 40 witnesses called to the stand, it's time for both sides to present their final arguments to the jury.
Reality of this case, ladies and gentlemen, is that this is someone with a fair amount of poison research on her own phone. This is someone who has profited over $144,000 before death and over $80,000 after. This is someone who misleads others when she's in hot water. I submit to you, ladies and gentlemen, that Ms. Kurczewski thought she would get away with this or be able to talk her way out of it. But the reality of this is that the cause of death is a poisoning, and the manner of death is a homicide. At the time Lynn Hernan died, she was worth more to Ms. Kurczewski dead than alive. And this person that you heard about, this loving person on the left, did not kill herself.
But the defense argues Lynn willingly gave money to Jessy. So why would Jessy want her dead?
This was known writing of Lynn. Lynn liked to spend money. She liked to give money away. She liked to spend beyond her means. She liked to give away beyond her means. That's what she did. And giving money to Jessy made her happy. Jessy was like her daughter. Jessy was the person who was there all the time, and Jessy probably gave her a hard luck story. I need money for this and money for that, but Lynn was happy to give it to her. The crime requires that it be without her consent. There's no evidence here that Lynn didn't consent. Lynn, in fact, gave the money willingly to Jessy.
Jessy's fate now lies in the hands of a Waukesha County jury. They deliberate over the course of 2 days. On November 14, 2023, they come back with their verdict.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Jessy R. Kurczewski, guilty of first-degree intentional homicide as charged in count 1 of the information. We, the jury, find the defendant, Jessy R. Kurczewski, guilty of theft of movable property as charged in count 2 of the information. As to the special verdict questions, if you find the defendant guilty, answer the following question. Was the property stolen more than $100,000? Answer, no. Was the property stolen more than $10,000? Answer, yes. No other amounts were answered. We, the jury, find the defendant, Jessy Kurczewski, guilty of theft of movable property as charged in count 3 of the information, signed by the foreperson, dated today's date, the 14th day of November 2023.
Jessy Kurczewski now faces the rest of her life in prison. Her sentencing was originally supposed to take place in December of 2023. However, on the day of sentencing, Jessy's attorneys withdrew from her case. She returns to a Waukesha County courtroom on April 5th of the following year. Now it's time for Lynn's loved ones to come face to face with her convicted killer.
Lynn was not a junkie or a coward. That would be Jessy. She continued to poison Lynn until she passed away October 3rd, 2018. The pain that Lynn must have been in for years. Jessy's pure evil. The devil lives inside her. She tried to steal Lynn's identity, which could never happen for the simple fact she's too damn ugly, inside and out. She's the worst of humanity. She's a useless human being. She's a known liar, she's a thief, and now she's a convicted murderer. Jessy, when you get to your new home, I hope you are taken advantage of and treated the way you treated Lynn, and passed around like a used piece of meat. Life in prison without parole is the least of your worries. To cheat a woman in women's prison is going to feel like a Holiday Inn compared to where you are headed. The devil awaits you. I hope you rot in hell. Lynn Hernan is an angel in heaven. May you rest in peace, Lynn. You're dearly missed and always will be. I'm so very sorry. God bless.
Jessy's mother, Jennifer Flower, who was never charged in this case, still refers to Lynn Hernan as a girlfriend, and she doesn't agree with the jury's verdict.
I do believe that I would hope, I don't believe that she's guilty. So this has been very hard for me. I do not believe that she killed her. I do believe for various reasons that my girlfriend took her own life, and she has a record to show it. And I would hope that I'm leaving it to you to look into this and give it your deepest sympathy and thoughts on this matter and taking it into consideration when making that decision.
While Jessy chose not to speak at trial, she does speak at her sentencing. Jessy uses her final words to the judge to declare her innocence. She says no one else was responsible for Lynn's death except for Lynn.
They want you to believe this case was a homicide and that it was all about money and Visine. Let's be very clear here. There was no murder. I did not commit murder. I did not poison Lynn, give her pills, or anything else. She either committed suicide or died from an accidental overdose. You can't change what actually happened to whatever version you want because you don't like the truth. You can't blame somebody for something they didn't do. You can't put that on somebody else. You just can't. It is a lot to be accused and convicted of murder when I didn't do it. It won't bring her back, and it won't make her loss any easier. You're holding me responsible for what she did. Those were her decisions, her choices, her actions, and no one else's.
Judge Jennifer Duro doesn't hold back when she addresses Jessy directly.
But as I saw everything, I have to ask out loud. It's a rhetorical question, but were you poisoning Lynn Hernan all along, following your release from prison?
No.
I'm not asking for an answer. This is my time. So do not interrupt me. She got markedly sicker following your reinsertion in her life on a daily basis, ultimately ending up in the hospital in September of 2018. Unexplained. Couldn't figure out what was going on. But what do we know? She got better. What could not have been happening in the hospital? someone poisoning her with THZ, too much risk associated with that, cameras, whatever it may be. And I think that gave you the green light. You said I went undetected, because what I think was happening is that you were using it to control Lynn Hernan, to steal from her, to gain control of her accounts. And I think you targeted her.
Judge Duro's ultimate sentence for Jessy is one that feels to many like poetic justice.
On the first-degree intentional homicide charge, count 1, I'm going to impose a life sentence with the possibility of extended supervision after 30 years. That would make you, without the theft charges, close to 70 years of age, older than what Lynn would be today. That is why on counts 2 and 3, you're going to serve maximum sentences consecutive to count 1 and consecutive to each other. Because I think to do anything other than that, given your prior forgery and misappropriation, felony convictions, and your lack of a good track record while on extended supervision, would be to unduly depreciate the seriousness of those offenses. But I really looked at this, and my goal here was to kind of hit that target, and that's how I structured it. And that target being to make you eligible closer to a point in time when you are 80 years of age.
Jessy Kurczewski is serving her sentence in the Tetrahydrozoline Correctional Institution in Wisconsin. Thanks for tuning into this episode. I'm Elizabeth Millner, and I'll see you back here next week with another female criminal.